I was only able to have a brief word with you after Takenda, so what's your sort of reflection in the sort of hour after the race?
I was happy with him. He jumped well. We quickened obviously a lot off the bend. To give Oscar Whiskey £5 is a good performance. Obviously, it wasn't a race that was run to suit either horse, and definitely probably wasn't run to suit Oscar Whiskey, but it was still a good performance to beat him. John Joe told me to ride him like he'd plenty of speed. As I said, we were kind of hoping to run him in the 2 mile race on Sunday, but the owners obviously have got dodging bullets with Paul, and probably this horse was, I was giving Paul a bit of a dig there and said that he'd more control over the owners than we have, but in fairness to them, this horse is probably more adaptable to going 2.5 miles, having won a Cheltenham hurdle. So
what do you think his best trip is, though?
I think we'll drop him back to 2 miles. I do. I think he's.
You think he's an Arkle type?
Well, I think to win good 2 mile chases, you need to stay well, and he shows that he shows that he's got plenty of pace as well.
Yeah.
I think we'll drop him back in trip for now, and maybe treat him as an Arkle type horse and see.
Do you think give underfoot is a necessity for him?
He copes with it very well. He copes with it very well. Whether it's a necessity, it's probably more of an advantage to him than it is to some of the opposition. So we'll see. I don't think it's a necessity, but he seems to perform pretty good on it.
You ride Tap Night in the Paddy Power tomorrow. What chance do you think he has?
He needs to improve a lot on his Carlisle run. I think he's high enough. If I was a little bit thinner, I would like to have ridden Nadia de la Vega or Colour Squadron. I think the top horses, obviously the class horse race haven't got plenty of weight, but it might be a little dead for Finian's Rainbow. I did fancy him, but the ground is a little bit dead, so that would be a worry. But it's a very open race, so I wouldn't know where to start to fancy one. But I think Tap Night, I wouldn't be so sure that the handicapper hasn't got him where he wants him.
Tony, our chance to reflect on what was just the most remarkable achievement. Have you taken it all in? Has it sunk in yet, what you've achieved?
Yeah, look, as I kept saying, I was very proud to achieve what I achieved, but it obviously was there for a few days afterwards. The excitement of it all, and I was glad it kind of happened when it did, because some of the good horses are running now, and I didn't want it, to be dragging out whenever some of the better horses were coming along. So, but it's now, it's great to have done it. Someone shouted to me on the way back in, I'd only 994 to go to 5,000, so that's great how people are thinking. So
is that on your mind?
Sure. Look, I really enjoy what I'm doing, and as long as you only enjoy it when you're winning, and you need to win. And as long as I keep winning, and I think that I'm riding at a good level, then I am really enjoying what I do. That's my biggest problem in life to come, is probably going to be the day that I'm not sure that there'll ever be a day when I don't enjoy riding. But I'm very lucky. I'm very lucky that I do enjoy. I enjoy my job.
And winning your 4,000th in those colours, you've had some great moments here in those colours at the festival. Wichita Lineman springs to mind. Do you have sort of like a few horses that you think, I gave that one a great ride? Is there sort of a top 10 in your ride?
I still think to this day that Pridwell was one of my better rides, because he beat Estebrack in his prime, who was as good a hurler as we've seen.
Pridwell wasn't an easy horse, was he?
An easy horse, he wasn't just a... I feel like I give Wichita Lineman a good ride, but Wichita Lineman, he just wasn't the quickest horse to win, but he had a great will to win, and it wouldn't, no matter how good a jockey I had, I wouldn't have won on Wichita Lineman if he didn't want to win as much as I did. So I feel that Wichita Lineman didn't get enough of credit for winning the day he won, So, and obviously winning the Gold Cup and Synchronised and the Grand National, Don't Push It, are 2 days that probably give me the greatest fulfilment in my career, because you get employed to do a job and you want to win the biggest races that are available, and those are the 2 biggest races. It was probably the first time in my life that I felt fulfillment in my job, and that I actually had given someone else as much pleasure as what I got out of riding myself. Do
you think the older you get, the more achievements that come your way, you're taking a look at them and recognising just what you're doing in this sport? Yeah,
I thought when I was younger it was my divine right to be winning every Saturday and every day of the week, and sadly, as you get a little bit older, you realise that that's not the case. And I know that I have, a lot more of my career that's behind me than it is in front of me. So what is left in it, I'm going to try and enjoy it. It's very difficult to enjoy when you have like a day like yesterday, the day before, when you have, I had no winners yesterday, I had 3 seconds the day before. It's difficult to enjoy days like that, But on the whole, I really enjoy it, and that's, as long as I keep doing that, then I'll keep going.
It's a lot for young AP to live up to, the records you're setting.
Yeah, his mother's absolutely pumping the foot into him. He's looking definitely more like a middleweight boxer, I'd say, than he is a jockey. So
how would you feel about him going into the boxing ring?
I think he'd be okay at it. Yeah, I think
he'll handle himself.
Yeah, I think he'll be okay. Whether look, it's a great sport. If whatever happens to be, if he wants to go down that route in life, you can only support him and let him do whatever you want. As I said, I wouldn't change my life for anyone's.
Just a final question: which horses are you particularly looking forward to sitting on this year?
The obvious ones, the at Fisher's Cross, Jet Ski, my 10 to yours. There's a lot of nice novices and young horses coming through. Shut the Front Door runs tomorrow. There are a lot of nice younger horses, but those are the three main horses.
As a competitive man, does it excite you that Big Bucks will be back to see where at Fisher's Cross is in relation to a horse like Big Buck?
No.
You don't want him back?
No, look, that's not. Big Bucks is an amazing horse. He's won, to win 17 races in a row at any level is amazing. But to win it at the level he's winning, he's a fantastic horse for racing. What do obviously you want to race against the best and all that. But would I prefer if it was last year that at Fisher's Cross was going to be a World Hurdle horse rather than this year when Big Bucks is back, then I'd prefer it was last year. Because any horse that beats Big Bucks is a different horse than, is an exceptional horse. There hasn't been one done it for the last 5 years, so it'll be a surprise when one does beat him.
Tony, many, many congratulations on your achievement. A remarkable stuff, and thanks for all the good times on the racetrack.
Thank you. Thanks, Ed. Cheers.